Hi guys, I'm Ozzie the Fantasy Freak, coming to you this week with my top 10 running backs that you should draft this year. I got an email with a running back question that I'm going to start off with this week. The question is from Carrie Hefner in San Francisco, California. Carrie writes, hey Ozzie, which running back do you like going forward for the year for the Steelers, Rashard Mendenhall or Ike Redmond? It looks like Rashard Mendenhall just came off the PUP list and he's getting ready to try to make his comeback from ACL surgery. I'll tell you what. Does anybody besides me remember last year, May 2nd, 2011, when our military finally did the job and killed Osama bin Laden? The jerk Rashard Mendenhall tweets the next day that he doesn't know why everybody's so happy that bin Laden's dead. We shouldn't celebrate that. Well, Rashard Mendenhall is making millions of dollars in this country. If he doesn't like it here and he thinks Osama bin Laden shouldn't be running the country, he can go to Afghanistan or wherever the heck this guy was hiding out. Rashard Mendenhall is a jerk and he shouldn't even be in the league. I'm not even going to answer questions about the guy. Let's just face the Steelers situation. The quarterback is a rapist. This running back, Rashard Mendenhall, hates his country. The coach is a cocky prick. Hey guys, I appreciate your questions. No more Steelers questions. They're irrelevant to the fantasy world right now, and until they get somebody that's worth it, we're not going to answer them anymore. Let's do the top 10 running backs that are playing and do love their country. Number 10, this guy's a rookie. I'll tell you what, it's getting exciting. Doug Martin for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. LeGarrette Blount has a groin injury right now. Martin was probably going to be the guy anyway. Tell you what, it really shot him up the board with some injuries here, and I accept Blount to be the number 10 best running back in the fantasy world this year. Number 9, we got an old guy, 30 years old, Michael Turner, but the guy's still getting it done. He had 1,340 yards, like 11 touchdowns this last year. You know, I think you expect maybe a little under that this year. He's still good to go. I'd ride him at number 9. Number 8, another guy getting a little long in the tooth, Steven Jackson for the Rams. His last year he was a little off. He only had 1,100 yards rushing, but he does still get you the receiving yards, 333 yards. He only had 5 or 6 touchdowns last year. I expect the offense to be a little bit, they were dismal last year. He might be getting a little help from the passing game, get him a little more room. Love Steven Jackson at number 8. Number 7, love this guy. I'm telling you, this is a guy that could shoot up your list even more. DeMarco Murray. This guy averaged, when he played last year, 5.5 yards a carry. Who does that? I'll tell you what, not many people out of Oklahoma. He's only 24 years old. He got injured last year after he got his chance, but I expect big things if you get a full season from DeMarco Murray this year. Number 6, the beast mode, Marshawn Lynch from Seattle. Had a slow start last year. He was horrible the first 5-6 games, and then he came on like the beast he is. 1,204 yards, 12 touchdowns, even threw in 212 yards receiving with another touchdown. Marshawn Lynch could be even better this year. They got a little more of a passing game. You got to like him. Number 5. I got this guy at number 5. The guy never plays. The guy missed like 12 games in the last 2 years. But if he can stay healthy, he could be a top 2 or 3 running back this year. Darren McFadden from the Raiders against the Jets last September 25th. Against the Jets. They're supposed to have such a great defense. Buddy Ryan's such a genius. He had 171 yards rushing against this squad and 2 touchdowns. And I'll tell you what, the guy is a phenom if he can stay on the field. So let's hope he does if you pick him at number 5. Number 4, this guy had a monster season for the Eagles last year. LaShawn McCoy, 1,309 yards rushing, 17 touchdowns. He just signed a 5-year contract. They're paying him big. They're going to keep feeding him the ball. It's hard to expect 17 touchdowns again from him this year, but he is a top 4 receiver. Ray Rice, number 3. This little bowling ball can roll. 1,300 yards last year, 704 yards receiving. You got to remember when you're picking these running backs, the receiving yards count too, so don't get too hung up. He had 15 total touchdowns. I don't see him slowing down. He's a young guy. He's like 25 years old. He's a safe bet at the top of your running back board. Number 2. Nobody's going to like this pick, but I love it. This guy's number 2 on my list. He might be number 1. I don't know. Chris Johnson. A dismal year last year. He held out. He wasn't in training camp. He came back. He wasn't in shape. He only had 1,000 yards rushing last year. But you got to remember with him, too, he's a receiver. He had 418 yards receiving last year. He only had 4 touchdowns. That's where he killed you. I'm telling you what, this guy still could be a 2,000-yard total guy. This guy could get 15 to 17 touchdowns. I love the guy. If you can get this guy late in the first round, you are getting a steal. Take a chance on him. He could win the league for you. Number 1, we know who he is. He's been number 1 the last 2 years on everybody's list, Arian Foster. The guy's a beast. He's not a little bowling ball. He's not a little scat back. This guy's 6'1", 229 pounds. He can't be stopped when he gets the ball. 1,200 yards rushing last year, over 600 yards receiving. He had 10, 12 total touchdowns. And he missed a few games at the beginning of the season with injury. I'm telling you what, he's healthy this year, and he is a beast. Number 1 pick on running back list, and number 1 pick in your draft. Get this guy, you won't be sorry. Hey, keep your questions coming. OzzieTheFantasyFreak at gmail.com. Good being with you. Thank you.